Welcome to Bloom in Full Color, where we live life in high definition. Now, we're debating whether that should be high definition or ultraviolet.
Apparently, they're two separate things.
Well, I'm thinking it's ultraviolet because that's the light spectrum, right, Zach? He's nodding his head for those who cannot see or hear Zach. Okay, so we might have to say ultraviolet going forward, just because truly, I was having a merch conversation, right? So, like, I'm a huge band concert person, so merch is like a real thing for me. And I was at a conference in Ohio, and they were talking about how you need merch for your retail center.
Absolutely.
Yes, as we were talking about the cool merch that I do actually have. And so we were working on this merch, and they were like, well, what's your color scheme? I was like, that's the beauty of this. We run a greenhouse. I can pick any color I want. And, I mean, yeah, so our base colors are pink and green, but whatever. You know, pink green is an accent. You can do anything you want. We were just like, oh, pick a lane. I'm like, nah.
Someone told you to pick a lane?
Yeah. Well, I usually am the one who tells people to pick a lane.
Oh, because I'd be like, I'm not going to tell Jennifer Moss to pick a lane.
You know, so this actually pairs very well into our topic today. So, like, Refresh's brand, which you guys it's orange. Yes. And it's blue. And you accent in silver.
And white.
And white. And I'm seeing some gray occasionally. But truly, you guys have a brand. So do we, but mine's flexible.
Yes.
Mine has a lot more give. And I kind of like it that way. I don't color in the lines.
Yeah, I've tried to get pink. Orange and pink look really well together. Ryan won't let me do... Zach, don't give me that look. Ryan won't let me do pink. I would love to wear pink.
You know, I actually have gentlemen at my facility that will not wear pink as well. And they're prominent members and it's not my brother. Actually, I could put my brother in pink any day of the week and he'd be fine. But no, they just won't wear pink, or they'll wear pink for like the 2 hours I need them in pink. Immediately remove it and give it away. I'm like, seriously? Every time I have to have you wear pink, I got to buy you a new one? Yeah, it's a thing. The two people I'm talking about are going to watch this and be like, damn it, I'm that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Okay, so something has come up in my life in this last 3 days that has been, I was just like, that's it. That's the topic of the podcast. Fear. Okay, so to me, fear is a two-pronged thing, right?
Okay.
Usually what you're scared of, you try to control, right?
Yes.
Okay, control. I'm a recovering control freak.
I'm still an AA for a control freak.
Control Freaks Anonymous. Right here. So why do you try to control things?
Probably if there's a deep down fear that I need to control things.
You're trying to mitigate variables that create something that scares you, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to literally control your environment from the things that you're scared of, because everything comes down to fear. Anxiety, anger, aversion to things, trying to avoid things.
Avoidance is a thing.
Procrastination is fear. Like, it's all fear. I mean, you could attribute it to laziness, but what happens if you actually succeeded? What does that look like? Yeah. And people are just like, well, I don't know what that looks like, so I'm just going to go back to my little comfort zone over here. I'm not going to do squat. And you're like, yeah, it's not really how it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was once asked, so Bobby Pyle, who great retired member of the Chamber of Commerce. Yes. Proud grandma, I should state that, because that is her favorite job.
Yes.
So one day she looked at me last summer when we were in the midst of wrapping up Beer Fest, and she goes, what are you scared of? And I had to actually stop, and I was like, the undercurrent of the ocean.
Oh,
I'm scared of the undercurrent of the ocean.
Deep water.
Deep water. Yeah. Well, so like, put me in a lake, put me in a river, no big deal. The current of a river, I actually understand that. I can't see where the water's going in the ocean.
No,
except in and out,
because there's that undertide.
Yeah, that's what scares me. The undertide in the ocean. That's the only thing I could come up with off the top of it. I don't really like to be over 16 feet in the air unless I'm on a chairlift. I'm a big skier. Chairlifts don't scare me, no matter how high up. Flying doesn't scare me.
Okay.
I can be on a bridge. It's secure. If I have to go up on a scissor lift and fix a drip line in a greenhouse when there's no baskets, oh, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, that would probably scare me too.
Yeah. I was tasked a couple of summers ago. Like, so during downtime at the greenhouse, you get this project list and they're like, okay, you're going to go out and you're going to do this. And so mine was checking all the drip lines in Teton. Well, now mind you, Teton, the gutters are 16 feet in the air. That doesn't seem that high up when there's hanging baskets all over. Well, it's empty. It's summer. It's hot. Today it was like 125 in the greenhouse while it was 82 outside. So next level hot. I grabbed my brother and I'm like, hey, will you show me how to run the scissor lift? Like, I got to go up and check the drip lines. Yeah. He's like, yeah, let's go. So as the scissor lift goes up, I went down. I was like, no, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
So I then found the stationary ladder, hooked my arm onto the railing of it, and did it one-handed. Because I was determined to get the damn job done. I was not scared enough that I was gonna pawn my work off on anyone else.
Yeah.
But I was not running that stupid scissor lift. Oh, hail to the no. So I learned I do not need to be up on tall, high things that are above 16 feet in the air. No.
My son climbed up a 20-foot water slide on the 4th of July and screamed on his way down.
That sounds delightful.
And then never wanted to go again.
He's like, nah, I quit.
He quit.
That reminds me of when we took the kids to Lagoon for the first time. And we came out of that. They have that big tower where it comes out and then dips down.
Oh, I don't do water. I don't do that.
Oh, well, I ended up in the front with my less courageous daughter.
Ooh.
And she said she's never gone on it again.
So Jeremiah would do that. I won't do that.
Oh, Brandon would do it in a hot second with our other daughter. She's like the courageous one. So how this all comes about, right? Actually, I want to know what you're scared of. Because we kind of talked about this. We won't have to go into it.
I'm scared of the dark.
Okay. And that comes from something in your past that's deep-seated, right? And I can't say I've ever been pulled out into the ocean, and I don't have a problem with water. I'm not scared of it. I'm not sure where mine comes from. I think it's an unknown. It's because I'm scared and I don't understand it. So, right. So, one of my daughters, I won't call out which one. She will not be okay with that. So, Boys and Girls Club in the afternoons has been going swimming. Well, they have to do a test.
Yep. The lab test.
If they can go in the deep end or not. Yeah. Well, one of them passed and the other one didn't. So the one who did not pass wanted to stay home or go to her mom's or not go swimming. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? You're 11. You want to go swimming? And I couldn't figure this out at first. She's scared. And it came down to avoidance and her comfort zone. And so her mom and I kind of like got together and we've got to figure out how to get her out of this fear loop she's in. And so it's been a constant conversation. I'm like, all right, so homie G-Funk. Like, I'll talk to my daughter, like, homie G-Funk. Like, all right, she's way into puzzles. So I'm like, all right, easy puzzle. How many times does it take? She's like, once. I'm like, okay. Medium puzzle. How many times does it take? Like 2 or 3. And then I get it. And I'm like, all right, hard puzzle. She's like 6 or more times. I'm like, this is what level of puzzle is this situation? And when I did that, she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, no, you're overthinking this. I want to shift your perspective. Swimming across the pool. What puzzle is that? She's like, it's a medium puzzle. What are we scared of? Like, well,
failure.
What? That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
She's very worried about what the world thinks of her.
Oh, yep.
She doesn't know who she is. So that is actually something I divorced. That's the word I'm going to use. I've divorced that fear. About 3-4 years ago. Yeah, it was about 2019. I decided that like what other people thought of me was none of my business. And I didn't care anymore.
That's actually written on a Post-it note in my desk over there.
Okay.
It says what people think of you is none of your business.
I remind myself often.
Yeah.
The individual we were talking about earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was exactly how I started a conversation. No. What other people think is none of your business.
So
Who cares?
I'm working on it. Getting there. I'm filing for divorce. The divorce has not happened.
Okay. Fair enough. Not Jeremiah.
Not Jeremiah.
Just to state that.
Sorry, Jeremiah.
Just to state that.
No.
I am filing for divorce of other people's judgments of me.
Zach, don't make that into a clip where it's just Liz starting out. I'm
Zach's
filing
about to fall
for
off the
divorce.
chair laughing about this. So there's a book I've been reading, The Body Keeps Score, about trauma.
I ordered.
Oh, God. It's good. It's fire. Okay.
It got here yesterday.
Fear is a tunnel. If you get scared, you're in a tunnel. What do you do?
Well, I wouldn't go in the tunnel because I'm afraid of the dark.
Okay, so if I line the tunnel with Christmas lights,
Okay.
Okay.
They're not flashing.
There's
at
lights.
me.
There's lights in the tunnel.
Yeah.
The tunnel can be made of white, and it can have a
Perfect.
spectrum coming in. I mean, we
With
can adapt the tunnel
flowers.
for your
I'm good.
for your concept. But fear's a tunnel. Trauma is a tunnel. Conflict is a tunnel. All of those things create an aversion in a normal human. Well, what do I do in a tunnel? I run at it.
Yeah.
Because I want the hell out of the tunnel.
Right.
I don't like small spaces. I'm not scared of them. Just not my favorite.
Yeah, I don't want to go cave diving.
Oh God, do you watch like those movies where they end up going down in and like the idea that your body can only fit through the crevice like barely? Oh, absolutely not.
There's a guy in Utah that they just left there. Like he died and they didn't pull him out.
Oh, they probably can't get to it.
They can't.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
So
Okay, yeah, so that's the thing.
I get it. It's
Got
okay.
it. Oh God, I'm going to go Google this. It's going to be terrible.
send
I'm
you
just
the
not
link.
going to do that. Just not going to do that. But yeah, so fear is a tunnel. Eventually, you have to work through it. It's kind of like what I tell my kids with like failure. Like, hey, if you don't learn the lesson this time, it's gonna return. And so you might as well, if you do something wrong, let's learn the lesson. Because if you don't, it's gonna return at a time when it's worse, and it's gonna be harder, and it's gonna be more complex, and there's gonna be things you don't like. And so I've really been starting this narrative with my daughter, like, discomfort is very important because it's the only place that growth happens. And you're only uncomfortable because it's a state of fear. And it might be a subtle fear. It might be unconscious. It might be extremely vibrant and right in your face and you're terrified and shaking. Or you're literally like fight or flight. Like, I'm not doing this. Absolutely not. I'm running. And that is okay if that's the lesson you need to learn. Fear is actually really important, though. So, like, it's part of the human function. So, your amphibian brain, right? It is kind of the subset of your brain that is created to kind of protect you. Like, oh, hey, there's a cliff. Don't fall off. So, you're scared of falling. Hey, there's cars coming really fast. Don't step into the road. Like, fear is healthy until it's not healthy. So, have you ever read 5 Second Rule, Mel Robbins?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Fire. Okay, so her whole thing was, so Mel Robbins is kind of a motivational speaker, and she's got the 5 second rule, the high five habit. It seems to be this 5 thing, but her whole thing was, how do you launch a rocket? 5, 4, 3,
countdown.
2, 1, poof, blast
I'm
off,
like,
right?
gas mixes with nitrogen. It
And
creates
the
this.
chemist has came out. And we are building a rocket tomorrow. My grandfather is actually a nuclear engineer.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one of these days
we
when we
will
do the
have
big
fun.
family interview. We got to get that on a calendar.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. But so Zach's keeping us on time, just so everybody knows. We get flashcards that tell
Very
us how long.
efficient today.
He's on it. Also, you know, is it Joe Rogan that does On It? He's got that Alpha Brain supplement, and I take it. Oh gosh, it puts you on point for a while through your morning. It's a nootropic. Yeah.
Can I just get it in IV form? Because I might.
You can
need
get
that
it
all
in
the time.
drink form.
I might need that
In powdered form. I have some samples.
I think my last baby ate my brain.
We're going on a total side tangent.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
okay. That's all right. So for those who do brain fog, like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because children suck all the nutrients out of your thing.
Yeah, she gave me 5 cavities. Like she just sucked it all.
Yeah.
Like
This is why I have no crotch goblins. Yes, I call them crotch goblins. That is when
but
negatively
she's learning
looked
to
at
stand now. I'll have to show you her little chubby legs. She's got no kneecaps.
So she is in her amphibian brain as her brain is growing.
Reptilian.
And so, it can be called amphibian too. It's reptilian. An amphibian is a reptile. No? I'm making a terrible reference. So my brain fog just showed up right there. This is why we need a dictionary while we do this.
Yeah, I'm like, Google.
Look it up.
What is this?
Where is dictionary.com? Okay, so the whole idea behind the 5 second rule is your brain has 5 seconds to talk you out of something. So you're like, gosh, I really need to go clean the fridge. Or, oh my gosh, I really need to send that email. Or, oh, I have got to get out of bed. I cannot hit the snooze button again. You have 5 seconds to make that decision.
Oh, that's
before
not very
your
long.
brain convinces you, negotiates it, compromises it, or talks you out of it. So her idea is
Wow.
you say, so it's the intention versus action, right? So especially when you're scared, this is really, really important to say, all right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you move and you go. So that you are taking those 5 seconds and you're focused on the counting and then the movement. And it's an action. So you have taken intention and you've given it momentum, right? And so you've actually following through on everything. So when I met my husband, he walked into the greenhouse with 2 small 4-year-olds running around like crazy possessed small demons. Yes, no, that is how I felt about children before I really got to know my lovely daughters now. But he walked in with his ex. They've been apart for a year. They were good co-parents though. And they walked into the greenhouse. She was my ad rep for a radio station and she was supporting us for an Easter event.
Wow.
I looked like a train had ran me over. Like hair was everywhere.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might have been out drinking the night before. God only knows. Piece of a human, not a whole thing.
Right.
The whole kit was not there. We were segmented, right?
Yeah.
And then this was what probably maybe before Tinder was a hookup app. Maybe Tinder was a hookup app the whole time and I just never knew. And I was on Tinder because I was single and I was just thinking
right.
off. I can't even remember. Was it right?
I don't remember if right
Yeah,
or
I
left.
can't remember which
Zach?
direction it was.
Zach doesn't know.
It's all right. The tech guy in the room doesn't know which way we swipe. That's okay. For those who can't hear Zach, he just said, I ain't a hoe. One of these days. Oh, we're going to get all the bloopers. It's great. It's great.
I ain't a hoe.
We are in Idaho, though. So that was a joke the whole time I was in Ohio.
Idaho.
By the way.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
by the way. He's like, where are you from? Where is it at?
Idaho.
Like, people, I'm like, do you
Mhm.
realize, like we live in that state? That's like a dead joke.
Stop.
But, so I see him on Tinder a couple of days later. I remember when I first saw him, I was just like, man, that's it. That's him. That's the guy. And I thought that shit never happened except in storybooks. Like, hands down, I knew immediately that was the guy. And I was like, God, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. And I even baited his ex and was like, so your ex is cute. And she's like, yeah, it just didn't really work out, you know, like, and she knew. She knew. To this day, she knows. And then now it's a conversation and we can joke about it. But man, I see him on the app and he's got this picture with these 2 little kids and this big fat face in this picture. It's not a good picture. And I was like, oh man, am I going to do this? And I had like, all right, I am scared as could be of rejection in this moment. And I had to be like, all right, 20 seconds of insane courage. You're going to do it. And so I messaged him. I was like, so you remember me from the greenhouse? Looking a little rugged, I think was the word I used. And I was like, so I kind of think you're hot and we should hang out.
Wow.
And that was it. We started talking.
And now you're married.
And we're married.
Wow.
And I would pick him every day.
And you're a mom.
And I'm a stepmom, which is terrifying.
Bonus mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a bonus.
I call myself parent number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I am definitely mom. But so the thing about being a step parent, which scared the living batooties out of me, by the way, terrified of children. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, oh, no, we're not doing that. And I have none of my own natural children. And I can't. I'm basically infertile. And that's probably fine. There are plenty of people who have reproductive possibilities out in the world. I'd like to harvest my eggs, though, because my brother was a pro athlete. My grandpa was a nuclear physicist. Like, I feel like those are good genes.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Like, I should at one point when...
You're smart, too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean...
Hyper-intelligent human, for the most part.
Yeah,
I have executive function.
Yeah, you should freeze those.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Or at least sell them or something.
Yeah.
Somebody should benefit.
Grow
and
some
I don't even really
mosses.
care if they put them in test tubes and grow them in a lab. I'm all for science.
Yeah.
And it's a little inhumane. Somebody is listening to this going, oh my God, what a callous.
No, that's not, that's
And
not
that's
what
okay.
she means, though.
It's cells. At the end of the day, it's cells. I mean, yes, there's a human behind it, but there could be some killer science there. Like, you could have fun with that. Mm-hmm. There's some interesting things happening. If you ever get a chance, there's a docuseries on Netflix that's called The Future Of. And it's talking about gene editing and what you can do in the future. It's very interesting.
I've got to watch that other one first that you told me about.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about
We're
that.
not going to talk about that, but there's a really good one. Zach will tell you when we're done. It's very, very good. If you see a creative title on Netflix that makes you go, what? Yes. It does start with how to.
And
I'll leave it there. I love it. Things you're scared of. That is a fear topic,
That's a fear topic.
That is a fear topic. Okay.
Ask my husband. Don't ask my husband.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
sorry, Jeremiah.
Definitely go on Netflix and search how to and see what comes up.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I was very curious and it was very interesting.
But there's a better one on now.
7 minutes
yeah,
left. We have 7 minutes
the cell
left.
thing. Let's get back to fear.
Okay. So I am a person that firmly believes run it fear. And I don't practice it always. Like, I'm recovering control freak. Control comes from trauma in my past. I have to control things because at one point I had no control. And it scares me.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's what it is. So
I'm glad we're on the couch for this podcast.
Falling off some stool or something. Yeah. So I invite people to say, go deeper. Like, if you're scared of something gives you anxiety, gives you heart palpitations.
Yes.
And freaks you out. Like, so hyperthyroidism, I have it. And so one of the side effects is rapid heartbeat. So I will be like completely stationary in an Epsom salt bath, reading my nice little smut novel to relax because I have no other way to unplug my brain from work otherwise. And I'll be there and all of a sudden I'm 100 beats per minute. And I'm like, what is happening? You know, and it scares me. But then I have to rationalize, slow down and be like, all right, hold up. You have control. You have control right now. This is a moment of time. So I actually ask my kids this, and it was a practice I used to do. So anytime somebody gets freaked out about something, I look at myself in the mirror, I look at my daughter, I look at my husband, and I go, will this matter in a year? Will this matter in 5 years? Will this matter in 10 years? And when I ask that question, if no is the answer at any point, you're giving it too much power. You get to take your power back. You get that control back when you make that decision, and you get to mitigate your fear that way. And if you start doing this enough, you start to build the practice, and then things aren't scary anymore. I mean, yeah, you're going to find something else that scares the hell out of you, like birds. I'm not big with birds. They have got the pokey beak.
My husband loves birds.
It's fine.
I hate birds.
They're unpredictable.
They're gross.
Yeah, it's all right. Everybody's got their thing. Like, I'm cool with snakes.
A grudge.
I'm cool with snakes.
I have a fear of snakes, but I think they're a fascinating, amazing animal, and I love studying them.
They don't freak me out at all. I'm the one who kills the spiders in the house. I'm not scared of any of that.
I'm not scared of the spiders.
The other day, my daughter was like, I need to get my shoe so I can smash it. I was like, you're barefoot. You're fine. Just step on it. It's not a poisonous one. She's like, like, my God, here's my slipper. I would have hit it barefoot. And I've done that in front of my children. And they're like, you're nuts. Like,
my 2-year-old has no fear.
Yeah. Fear's something that's learned, I've decided. And you can unlearn it. Because I used to be scared of the ski gates. So I used to race junior Olympic downhill skiing. My brother went pro. He was really good. And I was scared of the gates. I was scared to get hurt. And they're breakaway gates. So you hit them and they slap down to the ground. So they're not a problem. And they shouldn't hurt. And you actually have padding in your suit to protect you from it. Still scared though.
I'm scared of getting stuck in the snow and like having it collapse around me. I've had multiple dreams about that. So I've never been skiing.
I wonder if that's a past life thing.
Oh, I don't know. We don't have enough time in the podcast to deal with all my fears.
Yeah, I think fear is something you get to decide whether you have or not. But you have to actually put yourself in the driver's seat because otherwise you are in the passenger seat. So I don't have homework on this, but actually, no, we can do some homework.
Oh, dear.
I encourage everybody to, the next time something is scary, you need to talk yourself into 20 seconds of insane courage.
I'm not going in the basement still.
You don't have to.
Oh, good.
I'm going to get you some kind of light. I decided this.
I'm just going to sell my house.
I'm seeing Beauty and the Beast with the little candle.
Oh, that's my favorite
Au revoir.
movie.
What him and his little French accent. What's his name?
Au revoir?
I don't know. That is not his name, but little French candle. Huh?
Lumiere.
There we go.
It's light.
So I'm going to get you a little funky Lumiere.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just take Lumiere and then you can go down.
Okay.
And then you need to watch more of that show we were talking about because then you'll reinvent that space.
I'm going to sell my house so I can't reinvent that space.
That'll be so fun. It might be your selling point.
It might be. Yeah.
Okay, now everybody's going to be like, what in the heck are they talking about? It's going to be great.
Yeah. That's the homework for the week.
Guys, I'm going to let you know. We are going outside of gardening season. Things are going to shift a little bit. So the next, we're actually going to film these back to back and then release them 2 weeks apart. But we're going into gratitude next. So that's the next one on the docket.
Okay.
And then following gratitude, we're going to start baking and doing salsa and doing some
so
food.
Excited for the food.
Yeah, the next segments are food. But yeah, so gratitude's the next one. So with that, I invite you to have 20 seconds of insane courage.
Thank you.
Face your fears. Fear is all in your head. It is actually a myth. And it's between your 2 ears. And unfortunately, it's what stops most of us. And that's why if it was easy, everybody would do it. So face your fears, 20 seconds of insane courage, and go out and live life in full color because playing's pretty boring. Thanks for watching.